Welcome to Between the Lines, Journeyman's Tale. Well, we're out again. It was an absolute nightmare getting in. The weather was absolutely atrocious on the motorway. And as soon as we got here, the rain has stopped. The sun's been out earlier on, but it's beginning to pick with rain again as soon as you get the camera out. But the rods are out. I found a nice little silty area that I quite fancied. I put a bit of bait out, I don't know, about 3/4 of a kilo over 3 rods, which I don't think is excessive at this time of year. And fingers crossed that the bobbins will start dancing fairly soon after the last session, which was most enjoyable but very hard work. I'm hoping for 1 or 2 runs maybe this trip, and just maybe that odd big kipper. Anyway, it's all out there, fingers are crossed. Well, what can I say? That's more or less the first 24 hours, and very little to show for it. A couple of fish did show off the point of the island, well, a couple of rod lengths off the point of the island whilst I was setting up, and I disturbed the fish when I was leading around because a massive plume of bubbles came up, which didn't represent a 2-ounce lead hit in the bottom. And the guy to my left had a 25 yesterday evening, so they are in the area, but absolutely nothing showing where I put the bait. And I got 2 on the silt in the deeper water and 1 hard up against the island. I did get some spurious bobbing movement at 3 o'clock this morning from the one on the island, but the last time it was doing that from this particular water, it was tench. So I struck into it, obviously nothing there. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of bait every now and again just to keep it topped up, get a bit of flavour flowing through the water and hope for the best. But we're getting cloud, we're getting sun, temperature's good, water temperature's fine, the air pressure is slowly rising, but it's still under 1,000 at the moment. It's due to be a little bit higher later, but again, no excuses. And getting desperate. I don't want another blank, thank you very much, but what can you do? Anyway, when it all kicks off, I'll get back to you. Well, we're well into the second afternoon now, and the fish has just showed off the island, about 1.5 rod lengths, 2 rod lengths off the island. So I've been round to speak to the guy on my right, and I'm not encroaching on his water, so I'm going to put a rod over there, pop up on a spinner rig, and see what happens. It's the only thing I've seen moving since I've been here. They're obviously not in the deeper water at the moment, but I think that's over a shallow bar by all accounts, so maybe they're still messing around in shallow water, I don't know. Anyway, bait's going over there, and fingers are crossed something comes from it. Well, I've come to the end of the second night, and it's quite early on the morning, but still nothing to report. There were fish boshing, I could hear them in the night off to my right at the top end of the lake, and there were fish boshing to the left of me down the bottom end of the lake, and there were also fish boshing off the island where I've got rods last night, but nothing to show for it, and I'm beginning to get a little bit depressed, because this will be the 6th night, not on this water, in a row that I haven't had any runs. I think it might be time to cut my losses and have a rest for a while and try and get the mojo back, because I don't know, it doesn't seem anything is working for me at the moment, and I don't know if anybody's catching is doing anything special, but anyway, it's not happening. Well, I've just been given a lecture off beloved, so I've moved swims now down to where I've seen a few fish bubbling and a few fish topping. Fingers crossed. There we are, eventually. £22, 14 ounces. I think it's about 2:30. And I'm knackered. Right, there we are. Save the blank. Excellent. There you go. Let's hope there's a few more of them out there. Let's get her back. Well, we've reached the final morning. Yet another very quiet night, apart from the torrential rain which made the lake rise about 2 inches by this morning. There was 1 or 2 fish showed at the far end of the island, but nothing over the baited areas. Fortunately, I did move yesterday and found some bubbling fish, and one of which produced a 22-pounder, but the other 2 spots haven't produced anything. The bubbling hasn't restarted. I only put a couple of spoms in over each one, so I didn't want to spook them off, but anyway, they haven't come back. But we saved the blank, so that was well worth the move and worth the effort. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. I haven't mentioned it before, but if you want to leave a comment at the end of the video, please feel free to do so. But keep it respectful, because my grandchildren watch this and read what goes on. Anyway, I'll catch you all again soon. Cheers for now. I've got the rods out. There's been a bit of bubbling going on, and I'm going to have a cup of coffee before I put up the oxygen tent.